Yeah.
They've never... What? Why are you saying optics sweaty when you always disavow that argument? What do you mean optics sweaty? This entire argument is about optics, dummy. What Kyle is advocating for is literally optics.
Yeah.
What I'm advocating for is literally optics. None of it is about actual material power. None of it is about actually fucking pushing for legislation. So yeah, that's why the conversation revolves around how Democrats will look bad or how Republicans will look bad. What the fuck are you talking about? Optics sweaty. What do you think? Kyle legitimately believes that, like, if we put forward Medicare for All as a proposal, that all of a sudden it's magically going to fucking pass through the House and then also the Senate? Like, is that what you think? No, he knows that as well. That's why they're all admitting that it's not going to get passed, and we should get Democrats on the record voting against it and advocating against it. That's the whole conversation revolves around fucking optics.
Yeah.
What if they do pass the public option? Great! That's great! That's incremental progress. That was something that I was on board with in 2008. So that's great.
5 months.
What do you mean?
Thanks for being.
That's literally an improvement, dude. It's nowhere near enough, but it's still fucking improvement. Delay Medicare for All? No, that's not how that works, man. You guys are fucking crazy. Like, I hate this accelerationist garbage. Okay? Like, this notion. No, I'm not advocating for preemptive surrender on Medicare for All. Guys. What I want, what the American people want, and what congressional Democrats are doing are entirely different, in entirely separate worlds. Okay? It does not matter. What the media will make it seem like the people want is entirely different than what people actually fucking want. It's not preemptive surrender. It's like saying we gotta fucking withhold our votes until Bernie Sanders is like magically elected or some shit by the DNC. It's not going to work that way. You have to have, one, Bernie Sanders be interested in doing that. You have to have organizational and institutional power. If you don't have institutional power, you have to have organizations that are outside of the regular democratic institutions that also apply pressure. You have to be organized for it. I'm not saying wait 4 more fucking years. I'm saying right now, build it. Okay? Build the coalitions. Make sure that you have any sort of influence whatsoever. What's the difference between public option and M4A for us EU folks? The public option is basically government healthcare. Okay? A government healthcare that you can sign on to, that you can buy into. Medicare for All, on the other hand, is the elimination of dual coverage. So every piece of healthcare is government healthcare. Okay? One is socialized medicine. The other is one more level towards socialization, where the government will actually, what do you call it? Offer healthcare that competes with the private market. There are a litany of issues with having a two system, like a dual system like that, a 2-tier system like that in America.
Thank you for giving me my Chad content in my very Chud town. 6 months of epic gamer moments. Poggers hassle.
Anyway, Medicare works great too. That needs to be part of the discussion. Absolutely. Even if she caves on M4A vote, Pelosi shouldn't be the speaker anymore. She makes the entire left look bad by playing politics instead of legislating. I'll pray for Hassan. There's nothing wrong with him, but he just might go completely bald by next year. Oh, this is Daft Pray. Nice emote, Daft. Hey, remember, you're an emote artist. Why are you still using your fucking one school photo? Huh? What's that about? Fake emote artist Andy over here. Fix your fucking emotes, Daft. Hassan and AOC like to play Among Us and call out imposters unless it's their own party. A truly revealing moment. Yeah, you know me. Hey, I hate calling out the Democratic Party. You're right. You really caught me. Pelosi's garbage, but the next speaker is Hakeem Jeffries, and he's worse. No. No Hakeem Jeffries and no Pelosi either. Anyway, stole the joke from the video? Yeah, I did. Of course. What is cute is that there's like 10 to 15% chat that thinks you're a Dem. And I am a Democrat. I am. I do vote for the Democratic Party. I have no other option. Paul Mitchell, today I am disaffiliating from the Republican Party. Wait, really? Bad strat. Dems just vote yes for public option, knowing the Senate votes no. Okay, then Dems vote yes for the fucking Medicare for all, knowing the Senate votes no. Then it doesn't matter. Then this entire argument is just not even relevant. Like if Dems are voting yes regardless, then we go back to the Ryan Grimm argument. Again, we go back to the fucking Ryan Grimm argument, which is that, okay, it's symbolic anyway. So what difference does that make? You understand me? Anyways, top of the hour, every hour, 60-second ad break right now. I'll be running a fucking ad right now. If you'd like to avoid the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Here's the fucking ad right now. All right. Anyway. Chat doesn't understand in America, a public option will move faster towards Medicare for all model than one that struggles to change anything, similar to decriminalizing drugs. Start with marijuana is accelerating the entire process. I don't even know if that's going to happen. I just know that, like, I would rather have Democrats that fucking claim that they care about the public option literally advocate for the public option, because I don't think they even care about that. Does that make sense? Big Trump rally and part of the GOP Senate leadership if John Cornyn calls Biden president-elect out of opium. Wait, Biden's speech has been moved up. Cornyn basically says the election is done and any effort in Congress to change it is futile. He's president-elect, subject to whatever additional litigation is ongoing, subject to any other litigation that could occur between now and January 20th. The answer is yes, he's president-elect.
Thanks for the education. Look forward to many more months.
Anyway, so I hope you guys understand that I'm not even in agreement with AOC in regards to, like, applying pressure against Nancy Pelosi. If she is truly saying that you shouldn't apply pressure to Nancy Pelosi. But if you're going to apply pressure to Nancy Pelosi and it's purely symbolic to make Democrats look bad, then don't fucking throw out Medicare for all in that symbolic proposal, because then you're undermining Medicare for all. You're giving additional attack points to Medicare for all and making it seem like it's a poison pill when it's not a poison pill. Like, the fact that people think that it's great does not change that reality, okay? The fact that people think Medicare for all is great doesn't change that. It doesn't matter what people think. What matters is what the media says, and what matters is what the Democratic politicians do. Great idea. Some more secure pay-go waiver for Medicare for all and other bills. Negotiate for top progressives in key positions to help break blockages on progressive legislation. Change House rules for structural shifts, democratize power. These changes can shift power for years. People may think it's just personalities that block floor votes, but it's not just that. There are structural blocks, yes, placed by conservative Dems we must unravel. Potentially can be useful, GND protests in Speaker's office, but it's one tool. Medicare for all organizers are pressing different avenues. Okay, so other people are in agreement with me as well. It's not just, I'm not alone in this. Like, other people also think that we should be, David Sirota wrote about this. Okay, never mind. All right, like, David Sirota is a very aggressive person in the way that he advocates for his values and opinions. And I'm glad that, like, there are more people on board with applying pressure, but applying pressure in the right ways, rather than just, like, fucking forcing symbolic votes for Medicare for all that's not going to really go anywhere. Good. I'm not alone in my himbo takes after all. There you go. I don't understand it at all, to be honest. We went from seize the means to bootlegging for Dems. Because you don't fucking see... Okay. I think we got to go back to the theoretical power that the left wing has in American politics, okay? Let me explain something to you. The reason why I don't have a problem with like Marxist-Leninists, but routinely tell them to shut the fuck up, is because most Marxist-Leninists that don't chime in like aggressive ways that, ask for a bloody violent revolution, recognize that there are not enough Marxist-Leninists to create a vanguard party in America right now. Okay? There isn't. You don't have that power. If you don't have that organization, if you don't have that fucking power, all you have is a bunch of fucking weirdos with hammer and sickle avatars on Twitter yelling about a bloody revolution when in fact they're like 13 people on the internet. Okay? Like, you don't have anything. You have nothing. Which is precisely why you have to build power. Okay? You have to, one, engage in entryism on the Democratic Party side and primary out political opponents against the left by putting leftists in positions of power within the Democratic Party, and we are doing that currently. Simultaneously, while you're doing that, normalize leftist ideas and start talking about them, start promoting them from every avenue you can. Engage in agitative propaganda that also simultaneously builds coalitions and builds organizational power outside of the Democratic Party, whether it be stronger labor unions or whether it be actual fucking organizations or grassroots mobilization that pushes on issues like Medicare for all. Okay? That's the only way that you can inevitably get shit done. Like, even if your belief is that nothing will happen, power never concedes without demand, and nothing will happen without us asking and actually fucking withholding votes even in certain instances, or claiming that we're going to withhold votes or engage in collective bargaining, if that's your take, when I don't even have an issue with that, if that's your ultimate take, you have to have people that can get together and say that. And currently, as it stands, we don't really have that. Okay? What do you mean with pushes on Medicare for all? We don't have enough organizational support that agitates for Medicare for all. Tired people tweeting about articles they refuse to read. Wired people sending you angry emails about YouTube appearances in which you repeatedly say the literal opposite of what they accuse you of saying. Forgot organizing outside of social media, in my opinion.
"5 months of theory from my favorite lib."
Kyle talks about this in his latest YouTube video and agrees with you on all points except that he says to have the vote, symbolic or not, it is a push to move the party left, and it doesn't matter if you don't have the numbers. No one is going to come if there is not a position to sit on. People like Kyle overestimate how many Americans will even be aware of or care about a symbolic vote on Medicare for all. There will be no significant increase in pressure to establishment Dems due to a vote on Medicare for all. Not going to lie to you, I disagree with your take here, mostly because Pelosi didn't actually have to concede anything for her to return to the speaker position. Medicare for all was already passed in the House with full knowledge that it would die in the Senate. And regarding us not having that right now, that's what the original vision of the Justice Democrats was, but apparently the vision got lost somewhere along the way. Do you think JD2 might be necessary to refocus, or can Justice Democrats still be reformed? I don't even know who is in power at the Justice Democrats anymore. I don't know. I mean, I know that Kyle and Cenk are no longer a part of it, even though they started it. So I don't know what the Justice Democrats approach is as an organization. The health
I
insurance
chime in if I
giant
haven't
Kaiser
seen people
Permanente
ever
is
heard of
AOC's biggest
closing the
donor.
goddamn
Yes,
donor
AOC is
hassle.
actually running against Medicare for All. You caught it. Ultimately, if AOC and everyone else ends up agitating for Medicare for All or says that they're going to withhold their votes, I will back them 100%. That's what I believe. Okay? If they do it for Medicare for All, great. I'll back them, regardless. We don't have enough votes yet. Maybe later. Martin Luther King Jr. from the Birmingham jail. Yeah, no, you're right. The difference there, though, is that there were people willing to fucking die on the streets for the civil rights movement. There isn't people willing to die on the streets for Medicare for All. So, again, like, you're silly. It's a silly comparison. MLK was a revolutionary leader of the civil rights movement. You're comparing MLK to fucking AOC, who is a fucking politician. Okay? That is entirely different. No, people are just dying in their homes because they don't have health care or committing suicide. Again, you're talking to someone who understands and recognizes that I don't care. Like if they were going to advocate for Medicare for All, I'm not going to change my mind. I fucking want Medicare for All. I want Medicare for All today. I want it yesterday. So like my opinion doesn't change whether people are dying on the streets or dying in their own homes. I'm aware of that already. Like it's beyond. We're beyond that point. You're arguing against me on a position that I also hold. You know what I'm saying? Like you're making it seem like I have a difference in opinion. But if we're talking about political strategies, it's entirely different than like what you are trying to compare it to. I know that people are literally dying because we don't have Medicare for All. I know. I am the one who has advocated for Medicare for All as long as I have, and I still do to this day. I think that this would make Medicare for All look worse overall. It would open it up to fucking additional scrutiny that is unnecessary. Make it seem like it's a fucking unreasonable thing when it is a reasonable thing. That was my only take on the matter. I don't have a problem with pressuring Nancy Pelosi. I don't have a problem with pressuring establishment Democrats. I don't have a problem with advocating for Medicare for All. I still advocate for Medicare for All regardless. But if you're going to make a comparison between AOC and MLK, like you're crazy, that's one. And two, I don't know why you think that I'm not for Medicare for All. I am. I don't give a shit that Biden said he would veto Medicare for All. That wouldn't stop me from fucking advocating for Medicare for All regardless. Okay? Anyway, we're moving on. Yeah, it's crazy because AOC actually has political power, unlike MLK at the time. The fuck are you talking about? AOC is one person in Congress. She is nothing in comparison to the people power that MLK had. What the fuck do you mean? People power is what pressured the politicians to act in the way that they did. What? Are you saying that fucking AOC has more power than MLK does? Like, what are you, psychotic? Anyway, MLK wasn't in office. He was in jail, moron. Are you telling me that that's something I know already? Even Bernie's movement pales in comparison to MLK. Yes, I agree. Yes, I do agree. Of course. You didn't know that? You think I didn't know that MLK was in jail? Probably the one fucking the one piece of writing that I probably talk about the most on this broadcast is his letter from Birmingham prison, but it's all right, I guess. Yeah, letter from Birmingham library, the Birmingham cafeteria, school cafeteria, where he wrote about the white moderate standing as a hurdle against progress that is a necessity, putting a time on another man's liberation or emancipation. He famously wrote that from the cafeteria of a school. Anyway, letter from the Birmingham Twitch stream. I don't fucking understand half the shit Chad is saying to you. Why would they think you, of all people, is unaware of anything Medicare for All related? I don't know. I don't know why people think that I'm against this. I just think that I just think that if it's a strategy that revolves around optics, then focus on the right optics. Don't fucking throw Medicare for All under the bus. Like, you can fucking yell at me about how much time you want against progress all day. I'm for Medicare for All. I want it to happen again yesterday. I'm not against it. Anyway. Okay, we're moving on. Let's get to some other stuff. We want to spread hope. Hundreds gather for the tent worship service despite pandemic warnings.
As COVID numbers break records for the second consecutive day in the OC, hundreds gathered outside to do the only thing they say they can do in the pandemic: pray.
We want to spread hope in a time of fear and a time of fear pandering.
Organizers, pastors Jesse and Parker Green say they offer hand sanitizer and masks, but they don't require them.
Being outside, being around other people, having joy, not struggling with suicidal thoughts and depression really actually help as part of the healing process. And we've seen people getting healed quicker that have suffered from COVID.
Outside the tent revival in San Juan Capistrano, this sign was posted warning of the dangers of COVID-19 transmission.
There's been sickness during our whole history.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
Across South Orange County, a handful of bars are still serving sit-down customers inside.
We need to be able to make a living so that we can support our families. The bottom line is the people that are coming here have had it, or they aren't worried about it, and it should be their choice.
As many choose to ignore the stay-at-home order, Dr. Jim Keeney, head of Mission Hospital ER, is concerned.
We're still seeing more and more people every day, and the number of people per day is growing.
Dr. Keeney says Mission Hospital is still not at capacity, but in the next week or so, he suspects hospitals all across Orange County won't be able to take more patients. He says the county is considering a no diversion policy for all OC hospitals.
It's kind of a, simplified way to deal with the problem. But unfortunately, what that means is there will be some ERs that are overwhelmed while other ones have capacity.
Dr. Keeney says because of the surge and the nursing shortage, the state has offered to send in trained healthcare professionals to help. In Mission Viejo, Stacey Butler, KCAL 9 News.
Early in the pandemic.
9/11 every day. Yep. It's sad that 10 years ago I might have thought this was beautiful, gathering to pray like that. I'm glad I settled on reason. Not that I'm against faith, but I'm clearly disregard for common sense. Dog, the biggest church in my area started holding huge inside services and the pastor caught COVID and fucking died. Shocked. The only vaccine you need is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen. Amen, folks. Was this React Andy? Should I want SNL? Okay, shut up. Just saw Tommy ending at Dude, this guy is so weird. Just saw Tommy ending a 350K viewer stream. How does it feel to be a self-made millionaire at 16 years? I don't know. Why are you asking me, motherfucker? Why don't you go ask him? Like, what a fucking weirdo, dude. He's so weird. Go ask him.
The government passed the Paycheck Protection Program, which provided funds to enable companies to keep employees on the payroll. One of the world's...
Oh, the official moment that Biden wins the Electoral College. Look at that.
But with all due respect, Ben, and I know that this must have disappointed you, a majority of the House Republican caucus last week, 126 House Republicans, endorsed that crazy Texas lawsuit, the one that sought to disenfranchise voters in 4 non-Texas states based on a bunch of conspiracy theories, lies, and really, frankly, stupid suggestions. What makes you think that House Republicans are prepared to acknowledge reality on January 6th if they were embracing just...
It would be nice if you stopped shitting on the work people actually do, sacrificing the time, money, and effort. IRL. ISG went from 30 at the end of 2019 to 100 plus members today. There are leftists organizing who don't exist online or on Twitter, and the idea that people who criticize you as too online is silly. People are willing to go to jail to oppose police brutality and the economic conditions they're experiencing, and people are organizing against those charges. Oh, nice. Thank you for letting me know that there's 100 plus people now. Cool.
Principle of states' rights, that for some reason Texas ought to be able to tell Pennsylvania or Michigan or Wisconsin how to run their elections is such an abandonment of principle that I do believe from conversations I've had that there are Republicans who regret the way they have approached this so far and not been able to speak out. January 6th vote gives them an opportunity to go on the record.
That craziness just caused Congressman Paul Mitchell, Republican of Michigan, to actually leave the Republican Party. So we'll see what happens next. But Ben Ginsburg, as always, appreciate your expertise and your moral clarity. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jake.
Wolf?
All right, right now, Jake, California's electors are gathering. They're meeting inside the California State Assembly. The state has 55 electoral votes. Once again, it's more than any other state. California votes will certainly seal the presidency for the president-elect Joe Biden. You know what? Let's listen in as this process unfolds.
It's not in here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and ask the tellers to collect the ballots.
His name is Hassan.
And once we have collected the ballots, to hold the ballots while we select a secretary.
All right, while we await this process to continue, let's bring in David Chalian right now. David, pretty soon it's going to be official, not only us, the news media, the major news organizations making it official when we projected a few days after the election that...
I'm not going to be happy until Biden's in the White House still alive, or is Doomer era gone now? No, I'm way more Doomer. That is the reason why I'm way more Doomer is because I'm just consistently reminded every single day of how fucking like genetically and terminally predisposed establishment Democrats are to like any inclination of progress. They just do not want to do it, and they are fucking terrible. And that makes me feel way, 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 way worse about our future. Okay, like that's where I'm at now. I'm way more Doomer. I don't give a fuck about Biden getting sworn in now.
Having her home state,
I've moved beyond that
to officially end this electoral process this year and send them off to the White House, I am sure is a welcome development in the Harris camp.
Yeah, this has never been covered. This has never been live covered this way. The only reason why they're covering it is because of Trump. That's it. That's the only reason why they are covering it. Because Donald Trump has created a situation in which, like, you literally have to... I mean, it's like a way that they can make money off of it, too.
Its largest religious networks was approved for almost $4 million of taxpayer money. But soon after, it purchased a multi-million-dollar jet. Lisa Guerrero had a few questions about that.
The best is yet to come!
Marcus Lamb is the charismatic leader of one of the world's largest religious networks, Daystar Television, which is also a very prosperous, tax-exempt church.
Daystar was recently appraised at over $1 billion.
He lives a life of luxury. Check out his mansion with a beautiful pool.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
Why do they always look like villains? The funniest part about it is that, like, these televangelist grifters can't help but very clearly look like fucking villains themselves. I find that really funny. I find that to be really strange that they're just like, I mean, they are villains, but then they also look like villains too. Like, you could literally try not to look that way, right? But nope. Nope. They just can't help themselves. Like, look at this shit. Like, why do you have this this goatee literally makes you look like the devil. Like, instantly, plus 10 points on looking like the devil.
When the
All right,
pandemic
I gotta pee.
hit,
Hold on.
Lamb's Daystar TV applied for the government's Paycheck Protection Loan Program, or PPP, to help pay employees' salaries and received $3.9 million. We've learned that just 2 weeks after being approved for millions of dollars in taxpayer funds, the church bought a private jet. It's a multi-million-dollar 1997 Gulfstream 5, like this. The luxury aircraft, which Lamb says they got for less than half the market value, holds up to 14 passengers. Lamb says they were able to buy the Gulfstream with proceeds from an investment and the sale of its old jet, not by using government PPP money. And he insists the jet is for ministry purposes. But is that always the case? In July, he flew with his family from his home in Dallas to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where they posted these videos enjoying 8 days in the sun. Look how his family described the trip on social media.
Nice one,
Our
Ham.
amazing fam on vacay, wrote his wife, and his son posted lots of great memories made on our family beach vacation this year. But Lamb insists to Inside Edition that it was a, quote, working vacation, a leadership retreat with his family, who are ministers of the church too and were consumed with meetings. In September, Lamb and his family used the jet to fly to California for 2 days. When they returned to Dallas, they looked like they had time to play some golf. Lamb is known to be an avid golfer.
Hole-in-one number 4.
And in October, Pastor Lamb flew with his wife and some friends to Naples, Florida, where they spent 8 days vacationing and playing golf. He told us he had 5 meetings there and spoke at a church. Pete Evans is an investigator with the Trinity Foundation, a church watchdog group.
They got millions of dollars from the government, and then they spent millions of dollars on a private jet. It just looks bad.
We recently caught up with Pastor Lamb as he arrived at Daystar's golf tournament outside Dallas.
So your church received millions of dollars in taxpayer money, and then 2 weeks
I don't know
later...
what the fuck you're talking about. He's working hard for God, baby. Prosperity gospel is just so shit, dude. It's so great. It's great. You can do whatever the fuck you want and get away with it. It's awesome.
Later bought a private jet for millions of dollars. Can you explain that? Did you use taxpayer money to buy a private jet?
No, we did not.
Then what are you
We had
using
our
that-
own money.
Then what are you...
Yeah, it's tithing. They got their own money from the people themselves. He might have gotten it from the taxpayers, maybe not directly from the government, but taxpayers indirectly. In the way that he fucking milks his... In the way that he milks his congregation.
What are you using that private jet for? Church business only?
Absolutely.
Then why did you take 2 vacations with that church jet, including to Florida last week where you played golf? Your wife posted on social media that she was on vacation.
We did have vacation. We also did several meetings with ministers while we were there.
Then it was time for a round of golf.
Bye.
Earlier this week, after our inquiries, the church paid back the entire $3.9 million it received from the government with interest. An attorney for Daystar Network says it does not use charitable donations to fund its operations, including the purchase of that jet. It also says it complies with all laws.
Wait, so how did they purchase it then? It's official, by the way. Joe Biden is now elected president.
That's well over the key 270 vote threshold. It's yet another major blow to President Trump's efforts to undermine the will of the American people. And now Congress will count the
Not that it fucking matters, but
and declare the results early next month. This is a historic moment that we have just seen. Biden will become the president of the United States, and Trump will become the former president of the United States 37 days from now on January 20th. Jake?
That's right, Wolf. Thank you so much. You know, what's important about this moment is that the American people got to see democracy in action, and that meant that states that have Democratic governors, such as Pennsylvania or Michigan, or states with Republican governors, such as Arizona or Georgia, they...
Okay, I don't care about this. Give me the fucking MAGA copium. If the church paid the PPP back, why was that even a story? Because originally they took it, and they probably would not have fucking paid it back if it wasn't the investigative reporting that occurred around how they got their gains from the PPP. How much longer is CNN going to be doing this shit? They're going to miss Trump being president so much. I agree.
Good work.
You should react to the 2020 musical rewind. No, Lisa Guerrero also murked Kenneth Copeland a couple years back. The video was epic. Yeah, Biden will be the most Biden will be the most progressive candidate, dude. I think the fact that churches are tax exempt is ridiculous. I don't understand it. Jesse Waters just called him the president-elect. Any Kappa is in chat. Wait. If the church apologized for misappropriation, why is that a story? Do you not consider it to be a fucking evangelical? Anytime an evangelical pastor or a televangelist purchases a fucking private jet, it's a good story. It's a story about corruption. It's the oldest fucking story on the planet, dude. What do you mean? How the fuck do you think they got it? You think it was off of their hard work and their labor? No, it's about fucking milking their audience by claiming that they are the pathway towards salvation. Oh, you were joking. Never mind. Yeah. What is this?
It became clear to me that I could no longer be associated with the Republican Party, that leadership does not stand up and say, the process, the election is over. It's over today. And then I saw the president tweet out that it's not over till January 20. Somehow he's going to continue to combat this. The people have voted. As I said in my letter, I voted for Donald Trump. It became clear to me that.
Yeah, a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump seem to be against Donald Trump's latest actions, even though it is late. But this guy was retiring anyways. He voted against impeachment. Fuck this guy. Exactly. It's symbolic in that sense. Okay. It's like, what's his face? Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake saying he was against Donald Trump for the first couple of years while like simultaneously voting 90% along 90% along the way with Donald Trump's agenda. And the reason for why they say this versus what they do is because Donald Trump is a real Republican. He's a regular Republican, and it doesn't fucking matter. Literally doesn't matter. It's like John McCain symbolically voting no on repealing Obamacare without a replacement, and then very easily voting yes on the Trump tax cuts, which functionally were the same which functionally did the same exact thing of undermining the Obamacare marketplaces. Okay, I want to show you a cursed ass video. Sorry. You know how everyone always tells me like you have to fucking season, you have to wash your chicken. You have to wash your chicken. What are you doing? Okay, well, here. I can't. This is DMCA-able music, so. She's literally cleaning the chicken with dish soap.
I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those
It's the worst thing I've ever fucking seen.
I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like.
She bad though? Yeah, a bad cook, you mean. There's another one that I want to show you, which is really fucking disgusting. Does anyone have the video of the ground beef? You know what I'm talking about. Washing chicken is actually more unhealthy than not washing it. I don't wash my chicken, and everyone used to yell at me for not doing it. Everyone used to yell at me for washing it, or not washing it, sorry. Oh, this one. It's really bad. This is probably worse than the other one, honestly. Death
2 months
penalty.
From this lesbian mama.
Let's take a look at this one. Let me show you what I learned in nutrition a couple years ago. All this grease is disgusting, she says.
London 2020, 2024, 2028, 2032, 2036, 2040. Happy 6 months.
That's how you do it, shit. Like.
I gotta turn this part. It's DMCA-able probably. What's that? Oh, she's washing it. Oh, she's washing the ground beef. Bro, she doesn't even season it, dude. She doesn't even season it. At least this psycho cleans it with a fucking, like, I don't know which one's worse, like dish soap, but then at least like seasoning it afterwards, or not even fucking seasoning it. Like, I don't know. It's just like, how the fuck do people eat that? Like, people eat that shit and then they fucking shit on vegans. That's worse. Like, that's infinitely worse than anything vegans could ever come up with, okay? I'm just gonna keep it 100 there, all right? Keep it $1.50 for you.
Rinsing after cooking is worse.
It's disgusting. Absolutely unacceptable, disgusting. Okay. Washing chicken, spread all the germs get nuked in the pan around your sink. Yeah, I know. A lot of cultures wash their chicken, but really it's more like brining it because they're from historically warm climates where meat gets slimy quicker and brine gets rid of slime. Ever seen a vegan rinse greens with dish soap? No. Rudy Giuliani beats the CCP virus. He's back. Okay, that's bad news. I don't want to hear it.
To the channel left is best.
Oh, Terrence is back. Let's see what he's saying.
Who said it was over? Who told you it was over?
3.
It ain't over. Look at me. Stop doing what you're doing and look at me. It's not over. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? It is not over. Who told y'all it was over? It ain't over. It ain't over.
He's honking his little baby horn too.
Who told y'all that? Why do you think that? That's what I'm trying to understand. The Supreme Court didn't say it was over. They didn't say it was over. No. Why y'all throwing in the towel? Huh? Pick that towel back up. Because it's not over. Put that towel back on your shoulder because it's not over. Matter of fact, take that towel, put it in some hot water, and put it on your face so you can wake up and realize it's not over.
The ground beef ladies from all went to school in my tiny province. This is not the representation in media we deserve.
Case, not because of merits, only because of standing. The Supreme Court never said there was no voter fraud. The Supreme Court never said there was no election rigging going on.
Oh my God. Just had a very nice meeting with Attorney General Bill Barr at the White House. Our relationship has been a very good one, and he's done an outstanding job. As per letter, Bill will be leaving just before Christmas and holidays with his family. Deputy Attorney General Jeff Rosen, an outstanding person, will become the acting Attorney General. Highly respected Richard Donahue will be taking over the duties of the Deputy Attorney General. Thank you all. Oh my God, even Bill Barr is gone. Oh, Jesus Christ. He out, dude. This is great.
This had nothing to do with merits. No, baby girl. No, baby boy. It had nothing to do with merits. So you better believe it's not over. You better believe we will win in the end. President Trump rightfully won this election. The Democrats are trying to steal this election. Keyword,
Terrence is
trying
doing an
to
impression
steal
of Cat
this
Williams
election.
as a chat, and
But
once
guess
you
what?
see that you can't
It ain't
unsee
happening,
Poggies.
Captain. Oh, no. It's not happening. So, what? It's not over. It will never be over. There is no expiration date on this hat. Okay? It is keep America great forever. Always and forever.
I thought it was Make America Great Again. And that Keep America Great wasn't exactly one that they were using anymore because, you know, it wasn't really all that great. Especially considering how many fucking people died in the COVID pandemic. It wasn't exactly the best way to use that line of reasoning, so they changed it to Make America Great Again. There is an expiration date on it. New research points to effective ways to increase support for addressing economic inequality. What? He's like, crap, how do I keep my viewers now that he lost? Yeah. No, he is serious. This guy is just completely crazy. He's out of his mind. Okay, Bill Barr's out. Terrence K. Williams is a manlet.
A man who I met on Twitter. Like,
where is he?
And he had like 700,000 followers. But also.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I just thank you, because I'm a fan of yours also. You're a very successful guy. Say a few words, please.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Yeah, this is a little too tall for me.
Oh, you hate to see it. That, my friends, is not a short king. Okay? That's not a short king.
Did you see the fake EC vote the Nevada GOP did claimed it was legit, live streamed it, and then had an ad for MyPillow? Nobody was saying it was not real or a show. They all acted and claimed it was a historic event and was real. Supposedly they will see. WHOTF bought Little Bill a suit.
Listen, there's a difference between manlets and short kings. And that right there is a manlet. That is not a short king.
First of all, I just want to say I love President Donald J. Trump.
Arizona GOP electors time for Trump. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. They lost. So they're like literally like, this is not how it works. Okay. You can't just be like, oh, we're voting for our guy. Like, the governor has to fucking sign off on it. Like, you're not. It's like me saying I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. Like, I don't give a shit. Do you understand? Okay, well, I have no fucking power. Like, I have no say. There is no difference between those guys and like your fucking racist parents who think that Donald Trump is still the president. Functionally, there's no difference between those electors. They have no power. They have zero power, zero standing, zero power. It doesn't matter.
In this election.
And also, Wolf, his latest frustration had been over that investigation into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, with the president publicly complaining this weekend that Bill Barr followed Justice Department protocol and did not reveal that information in the lead up to the election after it was reported that he had gone to great lengths to obviously keep it from becoming public for fear that it would interfere in the election, which of course is longstanding DOJ protocol. But now in this letter and this tweet that we got from the president, Bill Barr has written this resignation letter. I believe it's a resignation letter to the president saying that he's going to be leaving on December 23rd. He says he's a few more things he wants to wrap up before his time as Attorney General ends. And of course, Wolf, that's just going to be with only a few more weeks left that the president is going to have, who is now the Deputy Attorney General taking over as the acting Attorney General. And so this letter and this tweet from the president sounds like this is a mutually agreed upon departure for Bill Barr. But Wolf, this comes, as I was told by sources, the president spent this weekend talking about firing the attorney general because he was so upset with him. And you are right, their relationship had deteriorated that much. And one of the big things that the president had complained about lately was that Bill Barr would not back up his baseless claims about election fraud. He came out and said, you know, the Justice Department looked into this.
That's what he said on his way out. I heard that's live. Wait, hold on. We're now going to the White House to hear what Bill Barr's final statements were. Oh wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that. I can't believe that that's how he wanted to go out on his way out. That's what he said. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, well, he is the Flintstone. That's Mr. That is Mr. Flintstone to you. You understand? You think there will be any legal action against Bill Barr later on? There definitely should. No, there's not going to be any fucking legal action against Bill Barr later on. Those Arizona electors were fake. Fake electors try to deliver Arizona 11 votes for Trump. I already told you that they're fake. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Like, none of these, like, Republican electors are real. They are. It just does not matter. Okay? Hey, what about AOC versus Jimmy Dore? I already talked about it. You missed it. Go back into the. Go back to the VOD to see it. Okay. Old tires returning to electricity. 5 most expensive military projects of all time. Chick-fil-A. Why they're successful. All right, we're moving on from the politicking. More political react. What? CNN investigation on Cover's tailing Alexander. No, I don't care about that. Pastor who falsely says COVID-19 is a fake pandemic. Okay, well, let's hear this one.
For months, we've seen President Trump turn wearing a mask into a political issue. But now as the United States nears the first coronavirus vaccinations, the question, will that resistance to wearing masks among Trump supporters translate to a reluctance to be vaccinated? CNN's Ellie Reeve visited a largely conservative county in Tennessee for this story.
News of imminent vaccines comes just as COVID-19 surges through rural parts of the country, and the political debate is as heated as ever.
And I don't wear a mask when I go in either.
This guy's such a freak.
We wanted to know if the same resistance to masks would happen to the vaccine. So we reached out to Greg Locke, a pastor in conservative Wilson County, Tennessee, who says he has grown his congregation by protesting.
Why is he doing it in a tent? Why isn't he having this indoors, I wonder?
COVID control measures.
We're not going to close our church, ladies and gentlemen, because of COVID-19.
There's a lot of sincere people that are doing their best to put out a vaccine, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take it. I don't believe the government can tell me, when or how.
CNN picked her up from Vice, and I respect that. She's great.
I can stick a needle in my arm or my kid's arms. Super government overreach.
Locke says he's moved his services outdoors.
Vaccine is government overreach, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Not to limit the spread of COVID, but to handle all the new people who've come.
Faith over fear. I ain't worried about some
Oh my God, what?
fake pandemic.
Wait.
All the new people who've come.
Bro, my man is glocked up at the fucking church, dude. What is he doing? What is this, Cyberpunk 2021? Is that what's going on? It's America. The city is the most dangerous city in America. Always got to stay glocked. I always got to keep that thing on me, brother. Always got to keep that motherfucking thing on me, brother. I know it's not a Glock. Shut the fuck up. I don't think it's a Glock. No, it's in Tennessee. Yeah, welcome to Knot City, brother. Even in the house of Lord. Even in the house of the Lord, in the house of God, I need to keep that motherfucking thing on me. You never know. The devil might be coming, brother, trying to get me to vaccinate.
Faith over fear. I ain't worried about some fake pandemic.
I'm saying the sickness is real. I'm saying the pandemic is not.
I don't understand what you mean when you say pandemic's not real.
Pandemic is not real.
But what do you think a pandemic is?
Not COVID-19.
What
it is
do you think
pandemic.
a pandemic is?
I think we stuck on the pandemic question.
It's
Well, then why
ridiculous.
can't you answer it?
I did. There's no pandemic. COVID-19 is not a pandemic.
But what is a pandemic then?
Not what we're experiencing. I'm 44 years old.
Okay. It seems like a pretty fucking cut and dry, pretty easy to answer question, right? I feel like you should be able to answer it. Why can't he answer it?
We've not had one in my lifetime, so I don't know. And this is not it.
To be clear, a pandemic
We have had pandemics in his lifetime.
is a disease that spreads across many countries and affects many people. The World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic in March, and experts say about 70% of people need to get the vaccine to control COVID spread.
It's not been tested enough. We don't know what's going to happen with it. Later on, it may help you now, but in the future, it can cause more harm to your body if you get it again. It's not.
I love when people are like they try to come across as like understanding, where they're like, listen, I know how this works. Like, I'm trying to do what's best. Like, I know the pandemic is happening, but it's not as bad as you think it is. Like, we need to get COVID so our systems are safe. Like, what are you saying? You have no fucking clue. Why are you even trying to be rational here?
Not, this anti-vaccination, it's the devil. It's like, personally, it's a choice.
Some people at the service told us they'd seen Locke on Facebook and liked his message.
Donald Trump won the election by a landslide, and he will be reelected as the President of the United States.
We wanted to know how widespread his views are, so we drove deeper into Wilson County, where there's a COVID testing site at the fairgrounds. We met Quentin Smith, a cattle farmer who runs the agricultural center there and takes extra care to keep things sanitized during COVID.
The irony is, of course, he is aware of COVID because he has cows. And this is COVID has been a problem amongst livestock for a very long time. It's not new for humans. So a lot of the people that he should know about COVID and vaccinating for COVID, because the cows used to get it before human beings had COVID-19. I'm fairly certain that cows used to get COVID. Maybe obviously not 19, but not COVID, a different coronavirus. A form of coronavirus is something that cows have antibiotics for. COVID.
Y'all will never go to a fairgrounds where anybody is proud of their bathrooms. I am. Come on in. I'm cautious about running out and doing anything. I think everybody's excited about there being a vaccine, but I think it's going to be kind of everybody waiting around and watching the first responders and the nursing home folks, and if there's any reaction to it. Everything here is completely clean. Let me tell you what my daddy always told me. son, don't never believe anything you hear, and only half